Hello, friends, and welcome. This is episode 6 of Journey into Fandom Season 2, a podcast where I have guests on to discuss what fandoms and communities they're part of, what their experience has been, what the memes are, and how toxic or wholesome it is. Before we get started, I have to give my Patreon shout out to Chris, AJ, Josh, and John. Thank you all so much for supporting the show. I appreciate it tremendously. I'm your host, Carousel, and today on the show we had my buddy Adam on to talk about Attack on Titan. He told the story of how he got into the show, some of the discourse and controversies surrounding it, and our experience watching it together. This episode is spoiler-free, but if you want to hear our spoiler discussion, that will be up very soon on my Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/IntoTheCarisverse for access to that. Now, without any further ado, please join me on this journey into fandom. Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Journey into Fandom. How are we? I am here with my friend slash brother slash co-producer, Adam. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, and I am ready for this.
Amazing. I'm so pleased. You don't sound sure.
Victor, that's my real name.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my
pretend like you
gosh.
don't. Pretend like you didn't know before.
I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea. Oh my goodness me. I'm learning. So this is crazy because this is the very first episode we are recording in person.
Yes, I'm here, right next to her.
Yo! I can
We're
touch
holding
you.
hands.
Yo! This is so crazy. Yeah, because I'm on vacation right now. With Victor and also our friend Josh, friend of the show, and
My rival.
rival.
You're watching this, Josh.
Other co-producer and
Be careful.
other co-producer slash person who wrote the theme. Yeah. So this is fucking incredible. This is wild. And we're gonna have fun. So the topic for this show, this episode, I should say, we're gonna be talking about Attack on Titan, right?
Yes.
But specifically the anime, not the manga.
Yes, just the
Yes,
anime.
the anime only. So you manga people, whatever, we don't care. No, this is gonna be.
You suck. You spoil way too. We'll get to that.
Yeah, this is hopefully gonna be spoiler free as possible, and we might do a bonus thing with spoilers. Maybe we'll see.
Hopefully.
We'll see where we get up to.
I want to talk spoilers with you.
Oh, okay. So, first of all, let me get my phone out because I'm not prepared at all for what we're doing.
Question time.
Question time. Okay, so you already know what I'm gonna ask because I've already shown you the question. So,
And I've seen the show before, of course.
you've seen the show. You're aware. You understand the format.
I'm an expert.
Yes, indeed. So, for those people listening who don't know anything about the topic, which is Attack on Titan,
Ooh.
the anime, you have 2 minutes to give our listeners some context and to give us the condensed wiki article version. Are you ready?
Okay.
Are you prepared?
I have a question.
What's your question?
Does it have to be under 2 minutes, or does it have to be 2 minutes long?
I'm gonna I will tell you when 2 minutes is up.
Okay, so as long as I get it done under 2 minutes, it should be good.
Yep.
Okay.
You'll be fine.
Well,
You got this.
tell you what, Karis.
Okay, okay.
Since you've seen the show as well.
Oh no.
You know what? Just kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I was really nervous for a second.
I'm not about to pull a Josh and have you explain what Sonic is without you knowing anything about Sonic.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna embarrass you by calling Tails a cat or whatever it is you called it.
Oh, no. That never happened. That's old history, okay?
All right.
That happened.
That's season 1. We don't talk about season 1.
Don't talk about it. It's gone. It's done. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm ready when you are.
I'm ready. Okay. Right. So I'll count you in. 3,
Okay.
2, 1. Be good.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so to begin, AOT is about the story of Aaron Yeager, a young boy living in the world of Attack on Titan, a very brutal and sad and emotional world
Mm-hmm.
where all these characters are dealing with all these traumas and emotions
Yep.
and a lot of relationships too that they have with each other. As this show suggests, it's about Titans attacking, right? It's in the name.
Yep.
So I don't think saying that Titans attack humanity in this show is that big of a spoiler because it's in the name. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Makes sense.
it's very complicated because this show is very easy to spoil because a lot of things that are important to the plot are just so easy to spoil. So I think getting as much little information about the show is better for your viewing experience. So I feel like that's all I should say
Oh my gosh.
without giving away much.
Amazing. You still have
Yeah.
a minute and 9 seconds left if you want to say anything else.
Oh,
But otherwise, that's
Mikasa
okay.
is mid. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Oh, trust me, I pissed off someone by saying that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, you did. 1,000%. Okay. All right. That's it. Amazing. You did so great.
All right, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
of course. Of course. That was a really good summary. Yeah. So, excellent. Attack on Titan. All right. Let's get into it.
All right,
Let's chat.
I am ready for this.
Okay. So, tell me about when you first discovered Attack on Titan. How did you get invested?
Okay. So,
Mhm.
Attack on Titan is one of those shows where everyone and their grandmother have heard of.
Mhm.
If you have been in the anime circle, whether it be on Twitter, Discord, or YouTube, anywhere, you've heard of this show, okay?
Yep.
You've seen any anime podcast, they've talked about AOT.
Mhm.
So pretty much my journey into discovering AOT wasn't much different than any other people because, I've always liked anime my whole life pretty much. I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. But I never really watched much anime, I guess a lot. I never watched a lot of anime other than Dragon Ball consistently. And AOT was one of the first shows I ever really got into watching a lot. So I started hearing a lot about AOT maybe a year before the final season
Okay.
aired. And I just got into it and I binged half of season 1 in 2 days because I was so into it.
Wow.
It's just like immediately, as soon as the episode 1 finished, I was so invested into the world, into the characters, all the interesting lore. And there's a lot of mystery in this show too.
Yeah.
That I was really interested and intrigued in. And that just captured
Mm.
my imagination, really captured me as a person. And I was so into it, right?
Absolutely.
So that's kind of my story. It's not that much different from other people, but it's because AOT is so massive,
Yeah, I mean it's a phenomenon, right? It's one of the biggest anime things ever. So
Pretty sure it is.
yeah,
sure
I
it
would say
is.
so. I mean, like, I don't know if we'll get into my. Well, I don't know.
Well, maybe later we'll get into your
That story, yeah,
I think it'll be wonderful.
Maybe we'll chat about that later on. But
Yeah.
I've been aware of it for a long, long time. Before I ever watched it. So yeah, it's been around because I mean,
It's
2013, right? Isn't that when
Yeah.
season 1 came out?
the manga has been around since 2009, but
Wow.
the anime started airing in 2013,
Yeah.
and it suffered through a lot of hiatuses along the years. Like seasons, it would take years for another season to come out, and if you've seen AOT, you know how cliffhangery it is.
Right.
I can't imagine waiting 2 years for the next season to come out.
So unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Well,
Mhm.
great.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, tell me a little bit about your fandom journey. What's your
Oh, boy.
what's the extent of your involvement in the AOT community?
Well,
I'm very curious.
I have been fandoms. It depends nowadays. It depends on social media. Back then it was a little different. To meet other people in the fandom, you either had to know them or go to conventions and stuff. But nowadays, you just go on Twitter and there's like space or Reddit. There's like spaces dedicated to these shows.
Absolutely.
But since I'm not really a Twitter type of person. I recently just got a Twitter because I was kind
Yeah,
of
you
forced to.
did.
So I was never really involved in the Twitter side of AOT, thankfully. We'll get to that.
Right.
So most of my experience has been with one-on-one conversations on Discord with other people or YouTube comment sections, YouTube videos, which has actually kept my view of the fandom a little more positive than other people because really talking to someone like in person about it on Discord or reading comments is very different from other social media, I'd say.
For sure. Like, because I mean, you're able then to have like a conversation with the person
Mm-hmm.
on their level as opposed to, oh, I disagree with you.
Yeah.
Whatever. You're just a person in the void.
Just a hot take, another hot take on Twitter, you know.
Right. I mean, I know that I was a hot take on Discord, but whenever it's fine.
Oh yeah, you were.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm so excited to spill the tea.
Oh, you're gonna reveal yourself to so many people on Twitter.
Like, I mean, you know, what can I say? I mean, I've had my redemption arc, so it's fine. But yeah, I'm excited to chat about that.
So yeah, that's basically my involvement in the
Yeah.
fandom. Just to summer it up.
Okay, we're 10 minutes in. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about your personal enjoyment of the show?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm a very type of plot type person. Right?
Yeah.
I'm very driven by plot, and when a
I know
show
this.
doesn't have a very like interesting and mysterious type of plot, I have a hard time investing. I do like characters, you know, they're important, but I feel like a plot can really carry a show for me. And when it comes to Attack on Titan, I haven't seen much shows that have a plot like it,
Right.
that even come close to having a plot like it.
Mm.
So that's one thing that I personally really, really enjoy of it. And also since I'm a musician as well, I just love every single OST, all the music in Attack on Titan. It's just so good.
It is so good.
The composer did such a good job.
Yeah.
The adaptation of AOT in general, from the animation, the voice acting, the music, the animation, everything is so good. So
It is. It's actually amazing because it's such a complicated plot. The fact that all those things come together and over time, and what I really like about it as well, is that there's hardly any exposition. There's hardly any like expo dump where someone will be like, "Oh, and then this happened, and this happened, and this happened." Like it's all things piecing together and come together, and that's like it's quite hard.
That could be I could see that being a turnoff for some people because this show does not hold your hand.
No.
It starts off very mild, I'd say. You know, the concepts of the show that are okay. They're in the walls. Titans are attacking. That's the first thing you're given as information, and from there, the characters start discovering things about their world, being like, "Huh, why is this way? Why is that way?" So instead of like exposition, you have the characters themselves living life and discovering all these mysteries and things that they want to discover more about. They want to, fight for.
100%.
Who are we even fighting for?
Yeah.
A lot of deep questions that come up in this show. And I just think the creator, Isayama, did a wonderful job with the plot and how the characters, interact and react to certain things.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. I wouldn't have always have said that, but no, 100%.
Yeah, but like you said, there's this show is one of those shows that you can't watch season 1 and have an opinion on because there's a lot of things that season 1 sets up that don't make sense until season 3 type of show. This is a show you have to invest in because it's a long show. So if you don't like long shows, this show might not be for you.
Right. And yeah, I don't know. So whatever. I don't generally like long shows, but we got there in the end. We watched the whole thing.
Not yet.
No, yeah. Everything that's out currently, apart from the episode that just dropped. So, but anyway,
it's currently airing.
It's currently airing the final. How exciting!
I am very excited. And I'm very thankful I'm not on AOT Twitter because I would be just bombarded with spoilers.
yeah, absolutely. Stay far away from this.
We'll get to AOT Twitter in a second.
Yeah, do you want to move on to that right now? We can start.
Do you have any other questions before that?
No, not really. We can chat about Discord. Yeah. All right. So, what would you say is the main topic that people like chat about in the fandom? What's going on in Attack on Titan fandom right now? Spill the tea for us.
Right now? So at the moment with how things are in the final season, part 2 specifically, I have no clue what the discourse is at the moment because normally what I like to do is I like to wait until like a ton of episodes are out.
Yeah.
And then I'll binge those episodes and then go and see what people are saying.
Yeah. The
this is
So-
the superior way to watch a show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad we agree on that. All you weekly watchers, I respect it, but I couldn't handle it, especially with AOT.
Couldn't be me. No.
Yeah. So, going back to your question,
Mhm.
I'm not aware of all the things that are coming out about this new season since, we've only had one episode.
Yeah, sure.
But I know lately, and we're going to have to talk about a few manga stuff. No spoileries, but all the manga stuff. The
Yeah.
latest controversy or topic is the ending of AOT.
Oh.
The manga has officially ended at this point.
Okay.
And let's just say the ending, it is very divisive and controversial.
Right.
And that scares me. That I don't like that.
Yep.
I like it when a show ends in a way that people are happy with.
Yeah.
And I really dislike it when a show ends in a way that is divisive because if you have an opinion on it, it's going to be real hard to talk to other people about it without them, getting on you about it or something. So
I'm really interested how it's gonna go. I'm really interested in what we're gonna think of it. Like, are we gonna agree or are we not gonna agree?
I'm so intrigued to watch the ending
yeah.
with you.
I'm kind of because we've been watching it together for like the past however many months to get caught up. So I'm quite worried. I'm a little concerned.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So-
We'll find out. Yeah, interesting.
We can talk about fandom discourse around the show in general.
Yeah, please.
So-
tell me whatever you want to tell me.
Obviously, I wasn't a fan during this era.
Yep.
But I do know from watching like videos and hearing other people talk about it. When it first came out, it was a phenomenon. You know Demon Slayer?
Oh, yes.
Okay, AOT.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't know about Demon Slayer?
Yeah.
Nezuko. Ugh.
Nezuko, best girl. Anyway.
Sorry.
AOT season 1 was Demon Slayer because it was so massive and overhyped
Right.
that everyone was talking about it when it aired. And you had people calling it overrated. Now, when I look back and watch it, and from a point of view of like, okay, let me forget all context, all the things that I already know. Let's go back and watch season 1. And I you know what? Fine. I will agree that it might be overrated, especially if you have all this hype from all the further seasons and all the stuff they do later on, and you go into season 1, you'll be like, you know what? This isn't all that great.
Right.
So that's kind of what happened. All the fandom discourse that went on when the show was airing is a lot of people were, saying it was this amazing, it was the best thing ever. But then a lot of people were like, you know what? It's okay. It's not that great.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And then something interesting happened, and they took what 4 to 3 years to release season 2, and you've seen how long season 2 is.
Oh, yeah.
It's like half a season.
Right.
They took so long that the hype that season 1 had eventually just dwindled and died down.
Right.
And so when season 2 came back, it wasn't as overhyped as it initially was because all that wave of hype that it had at the push was kind of gone by that point because they took so long to animate season 2.
Interesting.
So that was what kind of was going on, and that's touching again on the problem I had earlier with AOT was that they would take so long to release seasons.
But I wonder if that like benefited the show in a way because like I mean, the people that stuck around are the people that were like really invested, and the people that are super excited for
Yeah.
it. So I don't know, but I mean, it's a shame that happened. But then you don't have all the people being like, oh, it's not, it's overhyped, blah blah blah, all that stuff. It's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, so at that point, all the initial people that were like hyping it up and saying everything, this was amazing. By that point, they kind of have forgotten about it.
Yeah.
So when season 2 came around, it wasn't as rampant because of how long they took.
Interesting.
So, yeah. And then we come to season 3. And
Oh boy,
what happens in season 3?
I love season 3. It's so
oh
good.
my gosh.
Sorry. Please continue.
Then season 3 happens, and oh boy.
Oh boy.
Was that a roller coaster of things? I think
Wasn't it?
all the people that were doubting AOT, that said it was mid and said it wasn't that great, when season 3 happened, especially when season part 2 happened, 3 part 2, all doubt was gone. Like
Yep.
everyone was sure that AOT was amazing after season 3.
Unfortunately, I was one of those people. And I'm hating myself. Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about it, Karis. We'll talk about it in a minute.
We'll get to it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm jumping ahead here.
So yeah, pretty much that's all I have to say because to talk about this show is very dangerous, spoilery. So I won't mention what happens in season 3 towards the end or towards the middle of it. So we'll just leave it at that because when it comes to like controversies, right, in the fandom,
Yeah.
I don't really know what was going on back then in the fandom because it was a long time ago and I wasn't really that much of a fan yet of the show.
Right.
So I do know a few things, like a couple decisions that some of the characters made in season 3. Of course, that's going to be debated. A couple, spoilery things are going to be debated.
Mm.
Also, a few things with like characters' genders. There's one character in there whose like gender is very let's just say left to interpretation.
Right.
She's not, or he or she is not really given a specific type of gender.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of debating and kind of toxicity, if I'm being honest, from a lot of people on both sides of the opinion,
Mm.
debating whether you should respect it or you should choose whatever you want to. So it's
Yeah.
that type of stuff will forever spark controversy online, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a normal thing.
Mm.
For anime, yeah, you normally have a lot of a lot of debating over that type of stuff.
It's so frustrating because it's like the whole point is that you can interpret it however you want.
And I love that about
Yeah.
that character.
So like what's the point in someone being like, "Oh, you're wrong for thinking that." I don't understand. I don't understand people that would
Yeah.
get angry if it's such a thing.
I mean, if you want to hear my position, I think it's wonderful that the author left it up to interpretation because like if there's like a little girl watching AOT and she's like, "Oh my gosh, this character's so cool. I want to be like her." I don't want to take that away from her.
Yeah.
If she found a girl that she likes and wants to relate to, I think that's wonderful. The
Mm-hmm.
same thing for a boy.
Yeah.
If the boy sees that character and is like, "You know what? That's really cool and badass. I like that character."
Yep.
I think that's very good.
We do like this character.
Oh, we do.
Oh, we do.
I think it's Karis' one of Karis'
It's one of my
favorite characters.
favorites. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So as far as season 3, that's as much controversy as I can think about. As much discourse.
Excellent. What about any of the creators in the community that you follow?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm curious about this.
So I don't really follow much AOT specific creators because there isn't really an AOT specific creator that I follow that just uploads AOT content. Mostly just anime tubers.
Right.
Like the anime man like Giguk and all these guys that
Mhm.
just make videos about anime in general.
Yeah.
That's who I normally watch as far as creators. I know Giguk is very infamous for a couple of videos on his channels about
yeah.
AOT.
Mm-hmm.
He has the legendary and pretty much the fans has pretty much accepted it as part of the show. Like as soon as you finish season 1, you have to watch AOT in 9 minutes.
Yep.
That's a legendary video.
You do. It's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
That was like the first thing that because when I was watching season 1 with Chris, he was like, "You have to watch this as soon as we're done," and I'm like, "Okay." I watched it. I was like,
Yep.
"Oh, cool,
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So
good stuff."
as far as creators go, I've watched his videos on AOT. He's made like what? He's made like 4 or 5 AOT videos
Yep.
at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Awesome.
As far as YouTube creation, that's what I've dwindled in.
I found someone recently. Don't remember their name actually, but someone who was doing like covers of the. Oh, my headphones are falling off. Of the of the season 4 part 1 OP, My War.
My War.
Yeah, it was really good.
Banger.
Oh, it's such a banger. In fact, you know what? What would you say is your favorite OP?
Oh no! Don't do this to me.
Oh yes.
I love all of them. Oh my gosh.
If you had to choose.
Okay. So I know I said I haven't seen much of the new season. I did listen to the new opening.
Mm.
Oh my gosh, it's probably in my top 3.
Mm.
So I think my favorite AOT opening, and is controversial. Maybe it is. It's opening from season 3, part 2. I
Yeah.
think it's OP5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's opening 5. That's my favorite Attack on Titan opening.
I don't
So-
remember it offhand. I'd have to re-listen to it.
Yeah, specifically the full version that is the one I like. Yeah, I think they really kind of messed up the version for the anime
Oh no.
because they took out a lot of good parts. And I was like, oh, but this part is so good. Why didn't they leave it in? But I understand. I mean, it's a long song.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Sometimes they don't always have the best part of the song.
Yeah.
It's like, this part's a banger.
Yeah, so like if you've seen the show and you're like opening 5, it's pretty mid. No. Listen to the full version. After that, come here and tell me it's mid. Listen to the
Okay.
whole thing.
That's what I'll do after this. That would be my homework for today. I
Yeah.
probably have other homework to do, but that's all right.
So,
OP5. Got it.
all right, that's OP5.
OP5.
My second favorite is Red Swan.
Mm-hmm.
That is opening from season 3, part 1.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is such a change from the first 3 openings. That this one is so different from all of them.
Yeah.
That I really appreciate the style and the tone that we're
Mm.
going for because there's a tone shift. There's definitely like a very big shift in season 3.
Yeah, I remember that one being really good, really liking it. That one's like more mellow, right?
It's a more
Yeah,
mellow,
that's
emotional
the one
type of song.
I was thinking of. I was like, was it this one? Yeah,
Yeah, Red Swan.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good OP too.
I love the music and the visuals.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And third best is the new one.
the newest one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not won me over yet. I don't know if it will, to be honest with you, but
It has a lot of metal screaming.
it
I
does have a
know.
lot of male screaming. I don't know, but oh well.
If that's not your thing, I understand. But it's a good song, Karis. It's a good song.
Sorry, Victor. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we don't always like the same things. I do my
Yeah.
best. Okay. Well, it's alright. I got you to like K-On, so it's fine.
Oh yeah. I love K-On.
Yee. Best show of all time. Let me tell you. No, that's yeah. I'm memeing now. So what do you think about how the fandom reacts to newcomers? People
How they react to newcomers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a lot of gatekeeping, do you think, in the Attack on Titan community?
You know what? No.
Really?
No, there isn't gatekeeping.
Interesting.
As far as I've seen, correct me if I'm wrong, but the most gatekeeping I've seen is from a show that was like initially very underground and just got popular out of nowhere.
Mm,
And that's when there's gatekeeping from like the original fans.
okay.
But with AOT, it was popular off the jump. It was mainstream. Season 1, mainstream.
Yeah.
Like if you look at Demon Slayer, for example, there's no gatekeeping in the Demon Slayer fandom because it was off the rip. It was already a popular show from the start.
Mm.
So I don't know. I would be curious to hear your thoughts on that, on my my explanation on that.
Well, yeah. No, I think that's a fair thing to say. What I would say is, as someone who's been part of the anime community for a minute and who didn't enjoy initially watching Attack on Titan, that was kind of awkward. And I remember that being one of the first conversations we ever had. And you were like, "What are you talking about? How can you not like it?" And I'm just like, "I don't know. It doesn't
Yeah.
interest me."
I
And I was like, "Sheesh."
I think I've calmed down a little since then.
You have, and so have I. To be fair,
Yeah.
it's the water under the bridge at this point.
That's another problem that we'll get into.
We'll get into.
when we talk about specifically season 4 stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
but I think all that to say is I think some Attack on Titan fans are not necessarily aggressive towards people that enjoy the show, but people who don't appreciate it, they can be like, "What do you mean you don't like this show?
Mhm.
Like, there's something wrong with you."
I have the perfect example, Karis.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Oh, let's hear it.
One Piece.
Oh,
That's all I need to say.
oh.
You criticize anything about One Piece, and the fandom will crucify you. And that's the same thing with AOT. And I was one of those fans, so I can say this with full confidence: is that AOT fans cannot take any criticism. If you
Yeah.
tell them anything bad about AOT, yeah, That's one major issue I feel with this show.
We'll come back to One Piece on this show. We'll do another episode all about it. But
Oh boy.
I mean, it's something. It's amazing. But we'll
Yeah.
we're not here to talk about One Piece. But yeah, no, I think that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, it have been since I've interacted with both fandoms. I see a lot of similarities in that area of like
Interesting.
how defensive and protective they are
Yeah.
of their show.
Yeah. And I think that's a theme I think that I've been doing that I've seen, during this show. I remember Andrew Brewer talked about that when we were talking about Kingdom Hearts. He's like, Kingdom Hearts fans are so defensive. And that's true. It's like, can't take any criticism whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, you just don't understand or you don't get it or whatever. It's like, well, I don't know. Like, maybe this person has good points. That's why they didn't enjoy it. Or maybe they don't. But maybe they didn't enjoy it. And that's it. You know? It doesn't
Right.
necessarily have to be a whole reason or so on. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. I see what you mean. And if you want to talk about more of the drama side, we can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to talk about. Yeah.
Okay. So to this point, I've discussed seasons 1 to 3 about all the discourse and all the things that occurred, right? In the
Yes.
fandom.
Yeah, you have.
Now it's time for season 4.
Ooh,
The big change.
so
and
spicy.
I don't mean just in story. I mean also in studio.
That's right. That's right.
Because Studio Wit was famous for animating seasons 1 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to say they did a phenomenal job.
Oh, yeah.
Animation, everything was amazing. It was, people have said it was a 10 out of 10 adaptation wise.
Yep.
They adapted the source material so well. And then you
That's
have
incredible.
Mappa,
Yeah.
Studio Mappa,
Mm-hmm.
who came in and they started animating season 4. And oh boy, was there a lot of backlash.
The CGI
Oh, no.
Titans. Yeah, I'm aware that's something people don't like.
Yeah, so just to touch a little bit upon that, Titans are very hard to animate.
Yeah.
And even Studio Wit used CGI with Titans. Not as much because they're very big and very detailed, so it's hard to animate them in a 2D style. So since Mappa, this is a whole deal. I'm sure if you look into it a little bit, you would know how bad the work environment and how everything is within that studio.
Oh,
and in
yeah, I've
animation
heard about
studios in
that.
general,
Yeah.
how horrible it is, and it.
I would not want to be an animator, let
Yeah.
me tell you.
So apparently, season 4 was a little bit rushed. So they had to use a lot of animation, CGI animation specifically for the Titans,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people were not happy about that. Not happy about that,
No.
which I think is really dumb. It's like one of the most dumb controversies surrounding anime I've ever seen. Because if you watch season 4, the CGI is barely noticeable at all. It
Yeah.
looks incredible. It's the best CGI I've ever seen. I have so much respect for Mappa and the people that work there, that worked on this show. Like I can't imagine just saying some of the stuff they said, because even they were getting death threats, all sorts of stuff.
What the hell?
Yeah, it
That's
was
so
horrible.
weird. Like, I mean, because I watched the whole thing as well. And there wasn't any point that I was like, eesh, that's heckin' ugly. Like, it
No.
didn't even occur to me
No.
because I was so caught up in what was going on in the actual story. Like, it just seemed like completely irrelevant. So, I don't know what's up with those people. Maybe they gotta go out, touch some grass.
They gotta touch some grass, bro. Because I have seen bad CGI. Okay,
Yeah.
like Berserk 2016. Yeah, that's bad
Oof.
CGI.
Oh, no,
Okay,
no.
These people on Twitter that complained about season 4 have no idea what bad CGI is.
No.
And honestly, they should just get they should just have AOT taken away from them because they don't deserve it.
Oof. That's
Oh
a
my.
take right there.
Yeah, so there was a lot of
Dang.
controversy surrounding season 4, even down to some like a song choice.
Right.
And one of the big dramatic scenes in the show, there's a certain song that plays, and people were very upset about it. I
Mm.
remember they even sent death threats to like the music director of the show because he didn't play a specific song. So when I tell you that they're very defensive and very protective of this of AOT, like I'm not kidding. Like that's the level of, of toxicity we're talking about.
Yeah. It's so weird. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand anyone that's, like, gonna send death threats to somebody because of something that they made. Like, who does that?
Yeah.
Very weird people.
Yeah, so like if you were looking into AOT during that time, you probably heard of all of this because let's face it, although the entire fandom is not like this at all, usually it's always the very loud, toxic minority that you hear the most on Twitter and you hear the most about. So, and especially with a show that is as popular as AOT. Like if you look at My Hero, other very popular shows, you see a lot of toxic fans.
Yeah. It's just really unfortunate because I think that, I mean, I know we've talked a little bit about One Piece and you're like, the fans. It's like,
They're not all bad.
they're not all bad. I
No,
mean,
they're not all
I
bad.
think I'm all right. Like, but it's upsetting that people can spoil something incredible for someone else that might love that thing.
Oh yeah,
But they're put off it because, the way these people behave.
yeah. We'll get to spoilers. Oh man,
Yeah,
yeah.
dang.
So yeah, that's somewhat covering what occurred during season 4. You know, with when fans are so used to a certain art style, so used to a certain animation, when you change that all of a sudden,
Yeah.
it can be very dangerous and a very big risk for your show. So I think they took a very big leap of faith with that 4th season with Mappa, and I think they delivered.
I think they did. Like, I didn't find it jarring at all, honestly. And I think, not to get into spoilers, but I think, like,
Mhm.
what's going on in season 4, such a big shift to everything that's happened before, that it almost lends itself to we're going in a different direction, even with the art style. And I think that's actually really cool. It actually reflects what's going on in this story, which I think is really interesting. And a cool
Yeah.
choice, in my opinion. I think Mappa did awesome, personally.
Yeah, we'll get to some more of that stuff in a second.
Yeah.
Quickly talk about the other big problem with the fandom
Yep.
is
Let's go.
I have never seen a fandom that spoils more than the Attack on Titan fandom.
Yeah.
The manga readers for AOT are so awful. I'm sorry.
No.
If you read the manga, I'm sorry, but I can't tell you the amount of things that I have had spoiled for me because of people reading the manga.
That sucks so much.
It's such a spoilery type of show. And that's why at the beginning I was like, I'm not involved in Attack on Titan Twitter, thankfully,
Yeah.
because of all the stuff that goes on. Like everything you've heard pretty much has taken place on Twitter. pretty
Yeah.
much.
That's so unfortunate. Like, why can't people just not spoil things? That would be
Yeah.
nice, wouldn't it? What a
Yeah.
world that would be. I mean, there's a very few people I know. I do actually know someone who's been on the show previously who watches spoilers intentionally because he wants to know what happens at the end and then realize, oh, is this worth watching in the first place? He's about the only person I know who has that opinion. Most people in the world go into things and they don't want to know the outcome.
Oh, boy.
So what's the point of some rando on Twitter being like, oh yeah, I'm going to post all these panels for you to see if you're just happily scrolling by. Oh,
yeah.
rip.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's so dumb.
my mom is one of those people, unfortunately.
Oh.
Whenever, oh my gosh, I hate this. Oh, quick little detour here. I hate this because whenever I'm watching a movie with her,
Uh-huh.
she's like, "What's gonna happen next? Tell me." And I'm like, "No, mom, just watch the movie. I'm not gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Like, just enjoy it." Like, no, I can't. I literally can't enjoy a movie. You have to tell me what happens, or else I'm gonna be stressed the whole time.
Oh.
So I end up telling her a lot of things, and it's just, I really don't like it watching movies with her.
That's so unfortunate. My mom My mom will ask me all these questions about it, even if it's a movie I've never seen before. I'm like, Mom,
Mhm.
I don't know. I haven't seen this. And she'll be like,
Yeah.
what? I don't get it. Like, what's going on? I'm like, Mom, just watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I relate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watching stuff with your mom. But no, I like watching stuff with my mom. Anyways,
Yeah.
that was a
Well,
fun detour.
anime fans, am I right?
Anime fans, am I right?
Horrible.
Yo, well, some of them are okay.
They are very entitled.
Yeah, well, not all
like
of us.
like you've heard from what I've been saying about the AOT fandom, they are very entitled. Like I understand. Like you have a lot of connection with the show emotionally, and you've invested in it, but you have no entitlement over it. Like
Right.
whatever happens, like they shouldn't consult you about it. You have a right to not like it, but you don't have a right to mess up others people's enjoyment of it
Yeah.
or insult someone because they do. And that's one of the biggest problems in the anime fandom in general is that people like to ruin something that other people enjoy. If they don't like something, no one can like something.
That's true.
So like if you have an opinion about AOT, those people cannot handle that. You either you think what they do or you don't, you know? And that's very unfortunate.
It's unfortunate, yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's something I see a lot as well in the anime community in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of people that just can't handle someone enjoying something.
It's really dumb.
It's awful.
Stupid.
Yeah. Well, anything else you want to ask?
Anything else? Yes. I want to ask you. I think you've talked quite a lot about it, but is there anything about the Attack on Titan fandom that you see that you don't see in other fandoms specifically? Like something unique to the culture, people that watch Attack on Titan. I'm interested.
Let me see. Well, there's a lot of political talk surrounding AOT
Oh, that's true.
because it is a very political show.
Yes.
And not in the sense you're expecting it to be.
Right.
It kind of catches you off guard when you start to
Mhm.
get into it, which also comes in another controversy that happened. Actually, you just reminded me. I won't talk any specifics, but in season 4, there's a specific thing that happens that reminded people a lot about a certain controversial thing that happened in the past,
Oh, yeah.
specifically with fascism. And so online, there were a lot of people that were saying that AOT was promoting a fascist agenda.
It's ridiculous.
And
Like
saying-
if you knew the context of the show,
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
and it's the most ridiculous.
How could anybody possibly come to that conclusion?
It is laughable.
No.
Because
It's like,
if you-
did you watch it?
Yeah,
Did you watch
yeah.
the show?
No, they did not, because if you saw the context of it, you would be like, "Oh, this is actually a very good commentary on the subject."
Right.
So obviously, it is a more political show than other and more mainstream animes. Like if we look at My Hero, Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, even One Piece. I don't know. Wait, well, I haven't caught up to One Piece, so I don't know how political it gets.
Oh, well, I can't. Yeah, I'm not saying anything.
Well, if we look at Dragon Ball, for example, these shows don't focus much on political topics or social topics.
Yep.
Like AOT does. And AOT touches a lot of these topics. So what I see in the fandom when they talk about this show, they obviously discuss all these political subjects that the show kind of touches on. So that's one thing I see very, very unique in the Attack on Titan fandom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than complaining about very petty things, and nitpicking the heck out of the show.
Right.
That's one thing I see.
That's a good observation. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's cool. It's good. I think it's a positive thing. Like, it's cool to have a show like that encourages people to think
Mm-hmm.
and really think for themselves too. Because
Yeah.
not to get specific, but what I really like about Attack on Titan, one of the things that it does really well is it doesn't tell you like
What to think.
what to think. It doesn't
Yes.
tell you what's going on, like the
No.
right or wrong.
No.
It's really up to yourself watching
Mhm.
it, to your interpretation, and that's really, really awesome.
And that's what the creator wanted, I feel.
Yeah.
I don't know this for sure, But I think that's what he was going for. He was going for a show that people can look at and have their own opinion on what's going on. There is no
Mm.
right or wrong in AOT, really.
No, it's just lots of different
Different ideologies.
different ideology, different worldviews, different ways of looking at things.
It's about characters with certain ideologies clashing with other ideologies,
Yeah.
and just seeing how that happens and everything that that causes. You as a viewer, you have to make up your own mind on what you think. There's a lot of good. I think this is good division actually in the fandom of what was right or what was wrong, who was really evil, who wasn't, and I feel like that's a very good thing.
Yeah, it's
In
fascinating.
this in the Attack on Titan case, a divisive fandom is a good thing.
Absolutely. It's great. Yeah, that's about all of the questions I have
Okay.
right now.
Do we want to get into your story?
Shall I tell my story right now?
Or I guess it's our story because
This is our story.
we kind of shared the story.
We can share this story. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
This is our shared experience of Attack on Titan. All right. Well, let me take you back to
Probably the initial of our friendship. This is when we first met, right?
yes.
Somewhat.
So I don't remember when I started watching Attack on Titan. I remember being like, it would have been this year, yes, because I don't think I'd seen it at all when we first met.
No.
But me
So-
and me and our buddy Chris, we
Mhm.
watched like the first season and a half together. And prior to this, I was like, Attack on Titan, like I like anime, but that's just not something that I've like really care about. And I honestly, I feel like a lot of my brothers,
Shout out to Curly.
shout out to Curly. No, I think a lot of his antagonism towards the show rubbed off on me a little bit. Not that I like, where I kind of was just like, you know what? I don't think it's something that I would enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went into it with that mindset of I don't think I'm gonna like this. And I didn't for the first season and a half. I was bored so much. It bored the heck out of me.
Oh, here we go, guys.
I was like, this is so dull. Like, I don't care about any of these characters. And this is the thing you need to understand, I think, about the show is like the characters become much more interesting later on, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as far as I'm concerned, say what you want, but like that's just how I feel, right?
Okay,
So
that's fair.
because it's so plot driven, and I'm much more of a character driven person, so it just took me a lot to get invested, and so I dropped it halfway through season 2. I was like, I'm done. I'm not watching any more of this.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember talking to you months ago. And
I was devastated.
You
when
were so
when I heard
upset.
the news that you dropped it.
You were so upset.
You want me to go into what I said?
Yes.
So I remember reading that message and I was like, I was gutted. I was like, no way, she dropped it. How can you drop AOT? It is so good. You cannot drop this. I can't believe it. And I was like, I messaged Karis and I was like, you know how I feel, Karis, about this? And she was like, what? I feel like it's an atheist talking to me about giving up on God. It was such a dramatic thing I said.
It was so dramatic. I laughed so hard. I was like, Victor, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you, but so it was so funny. But yeah,
Oh,
so
man.
that happened. And then the next thing that happened is that I started doing this show. I started Journey into Fandom, and I was looking for people to come on my show. And we started becoming much more close friends after this.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. The whole Attack on Titan thing, it sort of blew over.
Yeah, at that
I
point,
don't know
wasn't
if
really
you were
much.
ever actually upset at me personally. Like, oh, Karis sucks. She doesn't
Well-
like Attack on Titan.
I was never like mad at you as a person.
Yeah.
I was more upset at your opinion and your feelings towards it because I was like, no, she's so wrong. Please.
I was so wrong. I was so blind. So anyways, that happened.
Yes.
We
so-
became friends.
Yeah, we became closer friends.
Then I started making Journey into Fandom. And
Mhm.
I was looking for people to come on the show. And I was like, hey, why don't you come on and talk about AOT? And you were
Months ago, by the way.
yeah, months ago. Oh, I think I asked you. I was like, "Oh, do you want to come on my show? What would you talk about?" And you were like, "Attack on Titan." And I was like, "Sure, that's
Hmm.
fine."
Okay.
And then the next thing that happened is I was like, "So, is there any content that you think I should watch in preparation for the episode?" And you were like, "Well, finish the show." And I was like, "Oh."
Which actually, now that I think about it, was a very strange request because I don't think you've ever done this for another person, another guest on this show. Have you done any research for anyone else? I'm curious.
I have, yeah. I think
We can talk about that a little if you want.
it's something that I ask people, but most people are just like, no,
Going blind?
whatever. Yeah, I did. I'm pretty sure Josh got me to watch a video, the Chowmix video that we talk about in the episode. I think
Yeah, okay.
I watched that before. Aside from that, though, I don't think so. So it was a strange, but I don't know. I think it's important to like get guests to be like, okay, so I think you should check this out so you can have some context.
Right.
So you were like, "Well, finish the show then," and I was like, "Okay," and I really didn't want to. I was like, "But you know what, Victor, I'll do it for you." And so then we started streaming it together on Discord.
Yeah, we started
Weekend-
watching it together.
And I was still not sold until we got to season 3, and it blew my mind. And I was like, you know what? Okay, I concede.
You
I-
can see it why people like it.
I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it redeems season 1 and 2 necessarily. I think we need to go back and watch them again. I'm not going to do that tomorrow, though. I'm not going to do that for a minute
A long time.
because I don't tend to rewatch things immediately after I finish it. I tend to wait until I sort of don't remember it, and then I go back. I would be interested to do that at some point because when I was watching season 1 and 2, I really didn't enjoy it. But I think that now that I've seen the whole thing, it would be really interesting because I know all the context for all the little things that happen. I think then you can understand what's going on a whole lot. So
Mhm.
maybe I will. Maybe I'll enjoy
Yeah.
it again. But we got there. We completed it. We watched the whole thing up until the end of season 4, part 1. Season 2 is airing, so we're not watching that yet until it's all out. But yeah, that's been our
Yeah.
journey.
So yeah, that's
been my
summarizes it.
journey.
Yeah, that's been our journey. It was a lot of fun, going that. And even if you didn't enjoy it, by the end of it, I was gonna be like, you know what? It was a lot of fun watching this with you anyway.
Yeah, we hung out. We had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a joy and a pleasure. It was.
It was.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and that just brought to my mind one of the things that you didn't like about AOT. I actually think makes it very unique is
Mhm.
the main character.
Oh yeah.
And this has been widely debated and very controversial throughout the years that this show has been airing. Is the main character Aaron?
Right, and it's again not to get into spoilers, but
Mhm.
there's a very good reason why he's unlikable.
Yeah.
But he is unlikable, and because I'm a character-driven person, I found it really difficult to. Not even just Aaron, but like to be honest, like most of the main characters in the first
Uh-huh.
2 seasons to
Yeah.
really get into their shoes
Right.
because it's much more about this happens and this happens and this happens. And there's not a lot of time, I feel like, for them to really just be characters and do their own thing. And I don't know, like maybe I'm just looking for something else because I think sometimes people, they're like, well, that's not what it is at the end of the day. You're looking for something that's not there.
Exactly.
Yeah. However, I will say that season 3 and 4 really redeems a lot of the characters and makes them much more interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So to give my quick thoughts on Aaron.
Yes.
Without any, I won't spoil anything, of course. But
Absolutely.
if we do want to have a spoilery section later on, we'll talk more about him. But I think he's
Mm.
a very interesting take on a shonen protagonist.
Yeah.
When you look at a lot of shonen protagonists, he is very different from them.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love the sort of how they decided to make his character. I just really like it.
Mm.
So yeah, I think he's a very interesting main character in my opinion. Maybe he's not likable. Well, you know what? Maybe he's not supposed to be likable.
Right.
Why does a main character have to be likable?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't a main character just be the person that the story is surrounded by? Why can't you just attach to other characters?
What a take right there.
I think that AOT is very brave for pushing that boundary, for pushing that, that rule that has been in media for so long, is that main characters have to be relatable and likable.
Yeah.
AOT said, you know what? Maybe not. Let's just make something where the main character doesn't have to be likable.
Well, because this is making me think right here.
Mhm.
Because a lot of shonen protagonists, they're likable, but they're not relatable necessarily.
Not always, yeah.
It's like, oh, the super OP person that can do all this stuff, and he's like super peppy and happy, and it's like it's not really like a real person.
Mhm.
But Eren, very much so, is grounded in realism because of all the things that he has experienced.
Yes. Yes.
So that's really interesting. I think it's a big, like you said, it's a big contrast to a lot of other shows. So
Yeah. And a lot of shonen, I guess the more relatable part about the protagonist is kind of their struggle, because they usually always have like to be able to get OP into that level of power. They go through a lot of tournament arcs, a lot of training arcs.
Oh yes,
So yeah, they were mostly designed to be inspirational.
got to do the training montage. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's one thing I found very interesting about the show.
It's great. Well, I think the moral of this story is that if you don't think you're gonna like Attack on Titan, find a friend who really likes Attack on Titan and watch it with them, and maybe you will get around to enjoying it more.
Or just have an open mind if you're watching it on your own,
That's true.
If you're willing to try something that's a little different from the normal anime show you watch, then I feel like AOT is a good thing.
I will say, I think I'm very much in the minority of people that watch some Attack on Titan and think, I think most people are gonna like it.
Yeah, I think that this show is very likable for most people.
I'm not most people though. We got weird tastes sometimes.
That was mostly for all the unique people like Karis here that might not like AOT. That's perfectly fine.
Okay. Wow, this was fun.
It was very fun.
Thanks for coming on. I think this is about all I got. You got anything else you wanted to say since you're here?
No, not anything specific. Mostly just say if you're part of any fandom, any anime fandom, try to be different. Try to be that person that is very welcoming and accepting. Because nothing sucks more than liking a show and then interacting with fans and then finding out they're horrible.
Yeah.
So
it's no fun.
It's okay if people don't have your opinions. It's okay if people don't like what you like. Just be
Mhm.
respectful and keep an open mind.
Yo.
Like I've thought about this, and AOT in levels of toxicity is very it's the Star Wars of anime.
No, really?
Yeah. We don't have to get into Star Wars because that was already a whole episode on your show, but definitely it is very similar in terms of how people talk to each other about it online.
There's no rule
So.
to say we can't do another Star Wars episode if you wanted to ever do that.
Yeah, I'll do one specifically on the Clone Wars, the animated show.
Ooh. Again, another thing I have to watch.
It's a masterpiece. You have to check it out.
Okay. No, I do want to. It's just long. You know how I feel about long things.
You have to get through it. You gotta get through it.
Okay, I'll do my best. Well,
Mm-hmm.
excellent. This has been fun. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Where
This was amazing.
Oh, thank you. Where can people find you on the internet if they want to follow you on Twitter?
Yeah, hold on a moment. Let me find my phone.
You don't remember your Twitter handle. Good job, buddy. Good job.
Okay, so it's at Victor T Prince on Twitter if you want to follow me.
Please follow Victor.
I am a musician, more specifically a drummer, guitarist. So if you ever need any drums or any specific music done, I can definitely do that for you.
Yeah, and also, in actual fact, you did the drums on our Detours theme.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, I helped my brother Josh with the drums on that song. It was a lot of fun working on it, working with you.
That was so fun. I loved it. It was great to have you involved.
Yeah, hopefully for any future projects, I would be involved. I am a
Mm.
co-producer after all.
Yo, so true. All right, this is it. This is the end. Well, thanks for coming.
Well, thanks for having me on and talk about AOT.
So that was Victor chatting about Attack on Titan. Victor is an amazing friend, and it was such a joy and a pleasure to record this episode together. Thank you for coming on the show, friend. My name is Karis. You can follow Journey into Fandom on Twitter at J_into_fandom, and I am at Carrison Ford on Twitter. Please also join the official Discord for all my podcasts, Retrospective and Journey into Fandom. You can support the show by visiting patreon.com/Into the Carisverse. Thank you for listening. Bye.